can't find any help. I'm in pain, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm depressed, I'm whatever emotion you are experiencing, whatever the situation, even if you feel no one else can understand the situation, go to that place, make offerings and start speaking. If it's difficult for you to speak aloud, do it in a very low voice. If you can't do it in your heart and in your and start speaking what you are experiencing before even speaking what you want, or just say, this is where I am. To this day even, I might, with nearly 20 years of experience of shamanism and animism and other forms of also energy practices, are still in a period of difficulty. I still go in nature to certain specific places that are dear to me, or maybe if I'm not there, I just go and listen and walk until I find a place, and I will go with, this is the suffering I have. Maybe I even know this suffering is not, you could say, as solid as it seems, but for now I am suffering. Even with a lot of experience, you know your suffering will eventually reveal something else or expand into something else. But you're still experiencing it, or at least I am, and you will go in nature with the same processes and say, I have other processes also, but I might still do that and go, and this is what I'm experiencing and I need help. So go make your offering and speak aloud, or speak in your in a low voice, or speak in your heart if you really can't speak it aloud. This is where I am, and don't cut yourself short. Don't really speak it. Don't think you have to be more evolved, or you should be experiencing this in a more light way, or if there was, I was more spiritual, or if I was this, I was that, or maybe I've learned this thing and they say I'm not supposed to, and I should be able to transcend or elevate and whatever. You start with, this is where I am, and you offer it. So that's the main thing. The first step is you make an offering and you establish relationship. Speak to that tree, caress it, whatever you can do at this moment, and say, I am there. Then speak your heart, speak your difficulties. This is where I am. Really, if more anger comes out, speak it. If more sadness comes out, speak it and experience it. If you feel more depressed, don't worry about maybe the state can be acknowledged. Make this space a space of acknowledging it. So you're creating space now. You're opening it, you're offering. You're saying, this is, I can't handle this. You're not throwing it away, get rid of it, put some light on it, or whatever process, You're just offering it into that space. As a gift of your human experience. This includes my suffering also. Okay, this is it. I cannot handle it. It's too much or it's too difficult. For now I need help. And you offer that. All those colors of anger, whatever you have, offer it. And you speak it and speak it. You might even, when there are moments that are more difficult, you might even put a little bit more honey and say, I need to find some solace with this. It's difficult to speak it. And put a little bit of honey. You might take breaks and you just sit there and you just be with the tree and be with your breathing Don't try to control your breathing, really. You could, of course, if you got some practice, but just be with your breathing and your whatever you are sharing with that tree. Be with it, watch it. Be with the plants, be with the grass. If you have small spaces for that. If not, just speak. When you've spoken, eventually you'll feel something that it's offered. At least something is offered, and you'll feel a little bit of space. I encourage you now to really sit in that space. Maybe your mind will be a little bit less agitated. Maybe your heart will be a little less agitated. Maybe you'll feel slightly clearer, or a lot, I don't know. But there will be a feeling of space. And you sit in that space now. Just watch the tree. You can caress it. You can watch the plants around it. You can just watch the light in the leaves. If you're drawn to something, make it some space. You know, you're drawn to watching a bit of bark, watch it. You're drawn to putting your hand there, put it there. If you enter a slightly dreamy space inside of yourself, just be with it. So you're allowing yourself some space and quietness, and a little bit of quietness, and you becoming, in the words of someone who's been a teacher for me, concave. You're becoming hollow, a little bit more hollow, because you've poured a little bit, and now you're a little bit more hollow, and your hollowness, experience it, through watching, listening. Listen to the sounds of that place, and you might go back into your suffering. Something else might emerge also, and just offer it again if something else emerges, and say, this is what I'm experiencing. You're not throwing it away. I don't want it. Or maybe you feel that. Okay, I don't want it. But say it. And then offer it. Give a little bit of honey, give a little bit of corn, give a little bit of sugar, tobacco if you want to, natural tobacco. Something biodegradable, of course. And then listen. And listening is with your whole body. You're listening with your body. Your sensations, you are watching, you are hearing. And the more you are in that state of listening, the quieter your mind will become eventually. And stay in that space. And if specific ideas come to you, listen to them. You might even write them down, but don't get caught up in the process of writing too much, or maybe write it afterwards, unless you feel you're going to forget it, but get caught up in the doing. Write it down, or just make a note of it. And you might have something else, from way back in your life that might come. Or you might feel a comforting presence, a sense of something, of connection. I'm not going to say what might happen, because different things can happen, and this is your experience. But stay with that tree, and you can even repeat, or rock, or bush, or specific plant, or river, a bit of river, or that square of the park near you. And stay listening. So you are allowing a space for information or help, or just healing presence from nature to come to you. Don't try to visualize something. Those are other practices. Just be with the place. Be with that tree. Be with that rock. Be with that bit of river. Be with that square of of your park or whatever, even if you're in a city. Stay and listen. If emotions arise, let them go. Don't let them go. Let them go. But I'm not saying let them. Just let them flow. Let them flow. Let them flow through you. Express them. Speak them aloud. Cry if you feel like crying more. Even if you say, I'm really sad, why should I cry more? Just cry. Just let it happen. Don't try to do more. Just let it happen. If I'm more angry, just say I'm even more angry. Give it and give that again. But then you'll find a space. If you start of course you can see if you're getting, if you observe, you'll see if you're really getting kind of caught up in a self-nourishing thing after a while. But if you watch, if you listen, you'll see that this is different. Oh, I'm getting, I'm getting caught up in something. Maybe I don't want to switch, or maybe just observe that again and give it to the space. Give it to that tree. Offer it. And after a while, even if you have that process of then there'll be space, like I've described before. In that space, listen, and whatever emotion, let it flow. Whatever, maybe memories, information, from intuition about something you might go and do. And after a while, you should feel more at peace. Spend a little bit of time again with that tree or rock or whatever place in nature, just to thank. So you be with that tree a little bit and thank it from your heart. You don't have to make it complicated, just make it simple. Thank you. Just for that opportunity to be there with you, to share what I have with you. And then you'll give a little bit of honey or whatever offering you have. Thank it again. And